Good morning, everybody. Opticus Radicus here with a little Sunday morning tutorial on how to make a kind of cool, neat little logo sequence with a robotic arm, kind of factory line style, whatever you want to call it. In this tutorial, we will be covering a little bit of rigging, some stretch to, and just some basic IK rig. Nothing too complicated to control this guy right here and give him some nice cool movement. We'll be using the mirror modifier to create everything nice and uniform, and we will be using some particle emitters to make our cool sparks right there. I'll teach you how to turn a NURBS curve into a mesh so you can texture it like this, and that is about it. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so this is my model right here. You can make your robotic arm look however you want. I'm going to take this guy right here and I'm going to move him to the third layer where we'll be working. So I'm going to grab him, along the X right there and put him right there. I'm going to use him kind of as a reference to make my our robotic arm. You can make yours look however you want. It doesn't matter. It's a personal preference. So let's get started. We want to go into our front view. I'm going to create a square, tab into edit mode, Control R. I'm going to hit in the center and then immediately click right there. I'm then going to make sure that we are dead center. So since our cursor is at the center, I'm going to put snap selection to cursor. That's a bad idea. I'm just going to grab it along X and make sure we're right on that Z line, close as possible. We'll make all the difference in the world there. If you get really close, you can see. Good enough. Alright. I'm going to save this and call this Arm Roboticus. Alright. I'm then going to B-select and delete half of these vertices right here and add a mirror modifier. And so now we're nice and mirrored up, which is cool. So I'm going to scale this guy there along the x-axis and scale it along the y-axis. Kind of get a square shape going. Then I'm going to take this and grab it on the Z and scale the x. And make sure we have clipping enabled. I'm going to grab it on the x right there and definitely scale it on the y. So that gives us our kind of base shape right there. You can do whatever you want here. I'm going to extrude this, scale it, I'm going to grab it back in the X, kind of give it a little indent, extrude, scale, grab it in the Y, give it a little indent. So you get kind of something like that. See on this one, grab this on the X, and gives it a kind of cool little robotic shape here. Go to 7 view. I'm gonna give ourselves an edge loop right there, and actually no, that'll work. Faces. Oops. An edge loop back here. It's not. I don't want to let us do that. Oh. That's okay though. We'll use the knife modifier. Just kind of try to get those flat as you can. Alright. And this might be a little hacked up here, but we'll make it work. Cool. And then you just select these 4 vertices and press F and make a face. Select these 4 vertices, press F, make a face. And now we have ourselves our base arm. Quickly save. Always save a lot, as much as you possibly can, because sometimes things crash. Alright, now we are going to add another Shift A, add another cube, bring them up here, and we'll make our upper arm, which is much like that arm right there. Same thing. Tab, Control R, select Enter, Z for wireframe mode. Make sure you're in Vertex Select. Select those two. Delete the faces. Oops, sorry. Delete the vertices. Go into the mirror modifier. Clipping is enabled, and we'll scale this whole thing on the X, then and scale it on the Y. Since we'll be using this again one more time, I'm just going to duplicate it and put it over there for later use. Alright. Now, same thing with this guy. I'm going to take this, I'm going to scale it on the Y, I'm going to scale it on the X. And I'm going to make this one a little bit different than the other ones. I'll grab this on the Y. There. And we'll grab this on the Z and grab this on the Y. There we go. It's not looking too bad at all. Little upper arm, and then we'll use this to make the head. I'll rotate the X 90 degrees. I'll Shift D it. I'll grab this guy. And this will be the head of your robot, and you can make this look however you want. This is just what I did. Maybe if looking back, it's not that very creative, but I like it. I'm just giving this guy some little winglets. There. And I'm going to extrude this, scale it, extrude this, scale it, grab on the Y, and get a little non-extruded stylization. We'll just pull that over there, like so. And get a little Robotic thing going there. Extrude, scale, I'm going to grab that in Z. So. And then pull this out in the Y right there. Oops. I wanted that guy. Not bad. Now we're going to be making these little doohickeys right here. And all those are, let's make sure my cursor is nice and close. That is just, oops. It's just a mesh cylinder. Rotate the Y 90. I'm going to scale the heck out of that. Add a loop cut. Enter that, and that was way off the center. Close enough. Z. Vertex mode. You get the gist of it. We are using the mirror modifier to make everything nice and uniform and look the same. That doesn't make any sense. If you're pressing the X and you know that that's the X-axis and you're not seeing another thing duplicated, you want to go, make sure you're in object mode, Control A, location, rotation, scale. So now, when I do mirror X, it'll be over there, but it's on the X-axis. I mean, I don't got any funny business going on. So I'm just going to zoom in, make sure clipping is enabled, grab an X, and then something like that. There. Shift Control Alt C for origin to geometry. Oh, no, we don't want that. Origin is down there. Well, you can fix that really easy. Tab, grab Z, grab Y. And now we can scale this pretty good. Alright. And go right there. I'm just going to make it big for modeling purposes. Tab into edit mode. We're going to add ourselves some loop cuts. Control R. That. R right here. These are going to be our little grooves. I'll show you. Press Alt and make sure you click on the up lines right here. If you click on the side ones, it'll select like that. I'm going to E for extrude, escape, and then I'm going to scale that. there. I'm going to hit right here, E for extrude escape, and I'm going to scale that in. I'm going to hit 1, so I have a nice view right there. I'm going to make a little space there. Control Tab, face select, extrude escape, scale it in, and let's see, not too bad. Let's see, I guess I gave this one a little more of an oval look, so we're going to add an edge loop right there, and we're just going to scale that out, and then it gives that kind of rounded look. I'm going to do the same with this one. Scale it out, and let's just extrude. I said extrude, scale, extrude, scale. Gives us our little robotic pivot points, I guess. Save it, scale it, grab it on the X, grab it on the Y, get it right there. Alright, I'm going to Shift D, grab it on the Z, bring it up here. I'm going to move this on the Y right there. So we got some dual action going there. So, oops, I'll just Shift D, grab it on the Z right here. Now this guy, grab it on the Y, I'm going to edit mode, and we're going to get ourselves a nice top view. Very carefully, I'm going to use the C select. C, and I'm clicking to finish out of it. I'm just going to extrude this up right here. So extrude Z, tab, bring it back over, go a little bit higher. Alright. Not looking too bad. Almost better than that robot. The base, don't worry about that. That's going to be a part of, it's not going to be part of this armature. So let's get started with working this puppy up. So can't stress enough that you press Shift C and you start your cursor from the center there. That's where you should build anything, because this makes everything easier in life. So I'm going to add armature, single bone, Z into wireframe mode. I'm going to grab this guy and move him down right here. That's where our base is going to live. And tab to edit mode, grab on the Z, I'm going to extrude him up, and there we go. Extrude Z there. Gonna right there, so it pivots from right there. Extrude Z. I'm going to go to my side view. Before I do that, I'm going to hide this guy right here. He's really going to get in our way from the side view. Alright. Oops. I'm looking for, oops, you know what? Ah, there we go. Sorry. I hid my bones as well. I was wondering where the heck they went. Alright, 3 view. Tab and edit mode. And we're in our side view right here. It's just 3 on your numpad. I'm just making sure that everything's in the right place here. Okay. Extrude. Oops. Along the Y. I'm going to grab it along the Z, and then I'll. You know what? I'll go like that. There's our head bone. We're nice and center in there. That's cool. So there's our basic rig for controlling this guy now. My other one had some pistons, so let's go ahead and make ourselves some pistons for this right here. And we will Shift A, add a cylinder in, scale the heck out of that down. there. I'm even going to scale it some more, and then scale it on the Z, we'll say 10, scale Z 30, and gives us way too big, but we can scale it down real easy. Okay, now this guy is going to be up here, and we want it to attach to this bone right here, so let's get it right there, rotate X. Alright. And from the 1, I'm just going to Shift D and grab it on the X right there. Oh, grab it on the X right there. Alright, I'm going to go back into our bone setup right here. Tab in edit mode. I'm going to press Shift A. Get the guy right there. Make sure that we're inside of it. Shift A. There. I'm going to grab both these guys right here and go up. I'm going to go into stick mode, V-bone. Real fast. I'm going to press Control Alt S to scale that down, make it nice and small. I'm going to grab both of these and Control S and scale them both down, so they represent our pistons properly. This guy's way out. Alright. Now we'll see what kind of problems we get in when we parent this. So I'm going to save this. Always save before you parent anything. Oh, sorry, taking a sip of coffee there. One moment, please. 1 second. Sorry, I had to send a text message real quick. Alright. So, first let's apply all the modifiers for our model right here. So, we save like a paranoid person. I'm going to apply, 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 apply. So now, all our modifiers have been applied. And then now I'm going to link this whole thing together by pressing Control J, everything's selected. Oops. I want these bones as well. Nope. There we go. Now Control J. Alright. So, now this is one single object. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to select our bones. Press Control P with automatic weights. And nothing crazy happened, and that's always a good sign. So let's edit mode. See, we got good bending right there. Not too bad. A little weirdness, we can fix that. Right on. And so let's do a little IK, FK rigging right here. So I am going to tab in edit mode. I'm going to press Shift A and add a bone right there. I'm going to grab him. We'll just rotate on the X 90. Shift A. Grab another bone here. Rotate on the X 90. Alright, these are going to be our two control bones. So what this guy is called bone 10. So we'll go right here. Tab in edit mode. Make sure you're in pose mode. Go right here. Add constraint. Inverse kinematics, and we'll try to go to bone 10 right there. So, this is armature 4. So armature 4. I said armature armature bone. I'm going to rename this armature because, oh, it's just called armature? Okay. 3 mode, it's important to know, sorry. Armature, and we're going for bone 10 there. 10, and for chain length of 1. Now, bone 10 right here gives us some nice control over that. Not bad. Excuse me, I've sneezed. God bless me. Alright. So, that's not too bad so far. And we will then add another IK constraint at this bottom bone here. Armature, and we're going to target bone 11 right there. Type 11. Sure, chain length set to 1. So now, select both of these, go down like that, and move. That's cool. You can see our pistons are pistons is not moving. We can resolve them. We do have some warpage in here, so let's just do a little bit of weight painting real quick. So I select my armature in pose mode, and then I select the object. I'm pressing Control Tab. Now I'll go into weight painting. If you click on the bones, it'll show their influence over stuff. So I'm pressing 1 to go into add mode, and then one of these guys is pulling it. So 9 to subtract, go away. These bones should have no control over this itself. Just those pistons that we have right there. So that. Okay, then make sure that nobody else is influencing. I saw there was something weird going on in here. Like we're losing a little bit of something. Here, he was getting pulled. There we go. Here's 1. So subtract. Make sure that only the head bone is pulling the head. So let me find. I don't think that's my head bone, but you'll see a little bit of tear coming. See that pulling right there? So somebody here, there you go, is pulling that. Okay. That's not too bad. Okay. On mode. Let's try to get him back into our piston rigging position. I'm liking that. Okay, this guy we're going to use in pose mode a stretch to constraint, and we want to stretch to bone 6, I believe. So armature. Let's see if this works. Right? Totally. Like a glove. Alright. Same thing over here. Stretch to armature bone 6. And so let's add a camera real quick and see what we are working with in terms of how this thing looks actually. So Shift A, oh, pose mode. Okay, a lot of things don't work in pose mode. Sometimes you'll be like, well, can I add this? How come this isn't available? Because pose mode locks out a lot of your normal actions. So Shift A, add camera. I'm going to grab it on the Y real fast. And Shift C and go to the center. Shift A, add empty. I'm going to scale the heck out of this empty so I can find the little guy. I'm going to click my camera, click that, and press Shift Control C for a track do. Oh, sorry. So empty then the camera, Shift Control C, then track do. Some people like to use dampen track. I hate dampen track. It rotates the camera in strange ways. This track to constraint is much better. See, if you move this around and press Control 0 to make my main camera right here. If you move this around, it stays level. I like that. The dampen track get some rotating stuff going around. So I just want to check and make sure that my pistons are working good. So I'm just going to bend that right there, and you won't see anything unless you add any lights. So I'll add a lamp. I'm going to get out of pose mode. Might do something weird. Lamp, point, 6. Alright, I'm saving it and getting a little render. Cool. We have pistons, you know, that are stretched into it. You have yourself a nice little looking robotic arm there. And one thing I'm going to do, is want to save it, always save a lot, is I'm going to copy this bone's rotation to this bone's rotation. So this is bone 2, that's bone 4. Go right here and make sure it's under the IK constraint. We're going to copy rotation, armature, was that bone 5? Bone 4. Bone 4. Okay, so that's just going to copy the rotation, and I just think that gives it a really cool, see that little delay in the turn right there? I think that makes it very automated, and you get something, you know, you get that action going on right there. So it kind of, I think it's more realistic to how a robot would move. Cool. So that is the hardest part of this tutorial right there. You know, all we did was just make a simple armature. We added some IK constraints to these little guys right here. That's why they turned yellow, and we just did a simple stretch tube constraint for the those little piston bones right there. Now, if you wanted to get crazy with these piston bones, you could just go into right here and press Control R. Oops, sorry. Excuse me. It's going to show up here. Press Control R, and you bring that down right there. And then I would just go into face mode, Alt, and select right there, and just extrude, escape, scale. And that'll give you like oops, sorry. Oh, I just want this edge right here. There we go. That'll give you kind of a little piston-y kind of look right there. Pistons, and that's once again a personal preference. I'm not going to bother with it, but it might look cool. So, alright. I'm pretty good about this. Cool, so I'm just going to go to layer 3, I'm going to go layer 4. This is where I got the logo scene set up right here. Alt hide. Oh, looks to be all kinds of stuff in here. There's a camera path. Just doing some cycles, so those are planes that we missioned. We don't need that. That light will do. Now from a 1 view. See, I've made Opticus Radicus. Now, a little trick for making a quick outline is, yeah, we'll start from the beginning. We're going to get rid of this, this plane, get rid of this. Shift C to go to the center, Shift A and add ourselves a text in there. Rotate on the X 90. And if you're in the correct view, when you rotate the X 90 and you press 1, you'll get it in a nice frontal view, and that's all kosher. So I am Opticus Radicus. Grab an X, scale it, go to X, kind of get my space in between the line right there. I'm then going to go into fonts, and there's all kinds of free fonts on the internet. I'm going to use an Arial just because I like the Arial. Not too bad. So we're going to go into our, should be in the F mode right there, and we're just going to give it a little bit of depth and a little bit of extrude. And you can see it on the camera right there, it's a lot of it. We don't need, probably like in the 0.1s. Alright, now we're going to then Shift D, grab Y. Alright, and then on this guy behind him, first off we'll just give these guys some different colors. So this one, make red. This one, I'll make Negra. And Mr. Negra right here, we're going to give him a bigger depth. And what that does, and this is a large point thanks to the Blender Guru, who's a great man, and is very good at Blender. And I watched a lot of his tutorials, and he's a really good tutorial giver, a knowledgeable guy, an excellent animator. And it's taught me a lot of stuff I know. So, credit where credit is deserved. Here we go. And so now you have your logo, and you have a nice little outline behind it, and I think that looks cool. So that is the pretty much the hardest part. So what we'll do is we'll go into 3 right here. I'm going to press Control Tab to go into object mode. I'm going to hide that. I don't want this. I'm going to hide this camera, hide this light. So with that, I'm going to select that. I'm going to Shift duplicate this guy. I'm going to move it to layer 4. Right there. And we're just going to kind of make sure that our robot is positioned correctly. Alt hide. Let's see. Okay. That's fine. Shift A. Add camera. Alt R, Alt G. Sets the location of rotation. I'm going to grab it on the. Whoops. I said. I'm going to grab it on the Y. I'm going to rotate the X 90. I'm going to press Control 0 on the numpad to make it my camera. And right here, my little view. Some of you wondering how to make this view. It's really easy. You just pull in that little tab right there, pull it up, and go to 3D view. And then with your mouse over this, you press 0. And 0 will show your active camera. And that, I like that. That gives us a nice idea of what's always going on. So, get a nice view like that. And let me go back on the Y just a smidgen. And we're going to move this over. Whoops. Let's not forget anybody. We're going to move this over. Good photography, good anything, kind of works on the law of thirds. And you'll be able to see that. I'll show you right here. You can do this if this helps you out. Composition guide, thirds. So, you know, your general focus is going to be on these corners right here. Any one of these 3. Up here, right here. So, this is a good law of thirds right here. Got your outline, and that kind of, you saw in my video, we'll make like a foreground and a midground and a background. So kind of just differentiate everything, give the animation some depth. Just kind of looks better no matter what. I'm going to take that off because it's annoying. Alright. So we have our armature, a robotic arm. And we'll give it a base. If you want to give it a base now, that makes you feel better. I just added a cylinder. I scaled it down to Z and then scaled it out, and then grab an X right there. And so Z a little bit more. There you go. So now he has a nice little base to work off of. And so what we're going to do to make our emission, our sparks, is first things first, we're going to add ourselves a cube. It's going to be our ground. Why do I use cubes? Because they hold geometry better than planes or anything like that. They work better for the kind of physics things that we're going to do. So this guy is kind of off the ground now, but that's okay. Oh, that's away, so we're going to move that back. There, and scale that up. I'm going to scale on the Z. Alright. Save it. Cool. So, that being said, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to Shift A, add a UV sphere. I'm going to tab into edit mode, Z into wireframe mode. I'm going to grab the bottom half of this. I'm not going to grab this line, just these ones right here, and I'm going to press delete vertices. That gives us that right there. I'm going to Alt click, grab that little side thing. I'm going to flare this out. This is going to be a emitter for the sparks. I like this method a lot. It works really well. So I'm going to scale that down. So, really easy. We're going to go into this. I'm going to give it a diffuse. That's fine. You don't have to worry too much about that right now. I'm going to, we'll add the particle system first. So, particle system, I'm going to bring this count way down, so we don't want that much to fly out. And we'll be changing these times to make the sparks fly out whenever the robot hits the words. So, right there, random's cool. You can turn the cache down if you want. I'm taking out the geometry just a little bit, like 0.3. Gravity's good. You know, you can just mess with that wherever you want. Render's good. We're going to be using lines, and we're going to have the back kind of go away. So let's just give a quick look at that right there. It just flies out. So let's try taking down our gravity. See what that does. A little bit of gravity. Not bad. Some Brownianism, rotation, dynamic. Admission, random, and tab and edit mode. And let's flip our normals. X. Not quite what we want yet. Let's see by right jittered. We want it from the verts. Lifetime start into 1 into 2. So let's see. Okay, let's see. It's going up and out. We kind of want it to explode out when it hits, and let's figure out how to do that. Line trail count, size velocity. Let's take off our gravity at all completely. Let's give it a tiny bit of gravity, and let's take our set our normal up. These are going to be our little welding sparks, and we're literally just going to hide them inside the words right here. So I'm still not happy with how this is exploding. I would like it to explode better. And let's go ahead and make this in the physics tab right here, we'll make this a collision. We'll give it a little bit of dampening. Let me just go ahead and find this guy again. That's bouncing down all weird like. Okay. Particles lifetime. Cache. Let me just try something. Big real quick. Nope, not what I wanted at all. Alright. Still not happy with that. I'm going to flip the directions again. That's more like it. We want that kind of... And this is going to happen really fast. I'm going to get that kind of cool welding bloom kind of thing going on right there. Verts. Let's go back to random. Not very random to me. Tab, recalculate. Press A now. It should fall on the ground and bounce a little bit. Okay. Not that bad. Get some random velocity in there. There we go. That's it, baby. So, cool. And that totally looks like a welding spark right there. Particles, take a little messing around. A little foodling. You'll be fine. So we got that guy right there. Let's give it some texture. We have our he's kind of the glowing effect that you want. So we have our material. We're going to go over here. We're going to add a blend. We're going to go to our ramp right here. Bring up your alpha. It's really important, or it'll be invisible. And we'll give an orange kind of yellow hue there. We will not have that. We'll have that fixed color. It's fine. I'll create another one right here. Blend. Ramp. give this a little bit, and give this a little bit. Alright, and we're going to put multiply. Now that affect the alpha. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. Not too bad. A little spark. And we will give that some emission. So, not too bad. Let's see what happens if we put on indirect lighting. It's not letting me do it. Orange or approximate gather method. Okay, whatever. Approximate. I'm going to kill this light. Ooh, look at that. We got ourselves a little indirect lighting, which looks actually not too bad. Let's go ahead and just amp up that emission there and see what we get. Yeah, I'll take that. That will be when these sparks explode, they'll give off light, and that'll look real realistic. See how the light bounce right there? That's cool. Alright, so what we'll do is sick of time here. I'm going to hit the record button right here. In my one mode, I'm just going to go over here. This will be I'm just press A, and I'm going to grab everything, just move it just a little bit, and so now we have a keyframe on everybody there. So I'm going to go forward. Don't worry about that right now. Go over here. I'll bring him down. Okay. Let's make sure that you're on the right axis. Let's bring him over. I'm going to rotate this guy. Bring this guy down. Apparently. Alright. I love that movement that's going on right there. So we go to our number 1 spot. Then we'll go to our number 2 spot. We'll make it take a little longer this time. There. Okay. So, and then in between right here, we're going to make him go up. So he goes bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. Alright, and then our 3rd spot over here, I'm going to make him stretch a little bit. Alright, and same thing right here, we'll make him go up a little bit before he goes over there. And I'll make him twist when so he goes back over there. So let's just give that a look-see. Okay, and then of course he's got to return back. So, whoops. I like to make it look at the camera like that. Once again, we'll see. Cool. And I'm going to go ahead and end my animation at 221 right there. Bam. Not looking too bad. Now the fun part is this right here. So, as this guy comes down, oh, look what's happened, everybody. See this? Blender has crashed. I'm saving, killing Blender. I'm opening Blender back up. There we go. Alright. So with this cache, go right there. Moving this particle count right here around resets the cache for the particle system. So whenever you're having problems with reaction with it, just move this around just by 1, and it'll reset the cache, and that helps out a lot. So I'm bringing down there. First things first, I'm gonna make sure it doesn't start right now. So, bam, right there. So I'm going to grab this, hide it inside of there, and since I'll be using this guy a lot, I'm gonna shift D and put him up there for 1. Oh, shoot! Make sure that you don't have record mode on right now, as it'll mess everything up. Just take that off. Okay. You don't want any keyframes on these guys. So this He's welding right there. I'm going to hide him in there. And I'm going to press plus right there to change this matrix to new particle system. Now we are on line 37, so I'm going to go 37 to 39. A 2-second burst. So move that a little bit. So now, cool. I can live with that. I'm going to add a plus right there. See, we'll go to our second one. Okay, he's going to be right there. Okay, and we are at 105. So 105 to 107. And I'm going to put a plus right there and make sure that's a different one. So now, bam, bam. You see that? What's happening right there? There we go. That's much better. Because we had to reset the cache. Alright, there's our last one. I'm just doing 3 welding bursts. You can do as many as you want. On this one, I'm just going to rotate the direction so it spits out that way, hopefully. And let's see, this one is on 162. 164. Saving. I'll move around this part. Shoot the cache. Let's give it a look from the camera view. Pressing 0 here and Alt A. A little weld right there. Weld right there. Weld right there. You know what? We're having a way too long of a lifetime. These guys. So let's take the lifetime down to 10. Nope, that was good at 50, my bad. What I'm having is not enough gravity on these guys, actually. Let's try this out. Less gravity. That's better. So we're at 0.187. Just around there. Okay, if they fall at different speeds, no one's going to be mad at you. Alright, so just quick reiteration. We give the ground, emit it dynamic, give it a collision, and a little bit of dampening, which is basically how much the sparks bounce on this floor. So that way, when we do the sparks, they do bounce on the floor. We added a particle system made out of a UV sphere that we cut in half. Very important in that particle system is to make sure that your random is set right here. The rotation, not on the rotation, but it is, where is it? I knew this once upon a time. We'll pass, brownie, display, random, where is it? Oh, so at some point. You mess around with this back and head, that'll tell you how long everything is. And I believe it's under rotation right here. Yeah, make sure your random's up on your rotation. And that'll make it come out randomly. And right here. That just makes the sparks generate randomly instead of just all from the same thing. And gives you a more sparky looking look. There you go. So if we give this a little quick render, that's some cool spark action going on there. Not too shabby. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this guy to the 10th abyss. So our layer 4 is clear. I'm going to move this to layer 4. I'm going to move this to layer 5, So, in layer 5, that's where we'll give this lights. Lamp, point. Here, we're going to make sure this is this layer only, and take off specular. I'm going to make this orange. Go to 1, I'm going to Shift E, grab X. Shift E, grab X. Grab X. Shift E, grab X. That. And now I'm going to press Shift 4, and now take a look at it. Cool. So go before the spark. And we're not seeing anything over here because this guy is not lit up at all. And so to give layer 4 some lights, Shift A, add lamp. Oh, close mode. Okay, Shift A, add lamp, point. See this layer only, and +5 right there. Let's take a look. Too bright. Not bad. This ground could have a texture. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. So now, we're getting a little indirect lighting from our sparks. And just take that light over there and see what that does. There we go, we got a little more glow off that. And it's not looking too bad. Alright, and then we'll just do a little quick node editing. Don't be afraid of the nodes. Use nodes. I don't want this crush right here. I do want the glare, which is working, and then but we're going to take down the iterations a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's put the threshold, not too much, just a little bit. Angle, not doing nothing. Okay, I like the 4 streaks, and then I'm also going to add a go to filter. I'm going to add another glare. Could have just duplicated that. I don't know why I didn't. I'm going to go to fog glow. I just add that in there. And bring in the threshold and fog glow. And that's looking like sparks right there. I like that. I'm going to save it. Make sure you have use nodes on. Now if you're wondering how I set the setup here, we'll just go through it right now. You'll when you start, you'll have your render layer and your composition. And what we did is we separated the 2 layers, but we'll just be combining everything together since that it's not mattering too much. If you put more lights, well, I'll teach you how to do it later. But okay, so we have a render layer, which is this right here. I'm going to Shift A and add a filter glare. Usually, if we render right now, see, you still have a backdrop. You shouldn't though, but you would add a Shift A output viewer right there, and you have your glare. I'm going to Shift D that. Since they're both glares, I'm going to make a fog glow. We'll then pull this to here, little image to image. The yellow ones are image right there, and that'll give us a background. So let's make sure that we got some nice sparks. The spark scene right there. Cool. Those are coming right through. It looks like there might be a little bit of a lighting problem from the indirect lighting, which is quite possible. Let's see. No, it's working. Tripping. Alright. This is your basic fog, glow, and streak setup. You have your compositor and your viewer node. Viewer lets you see it. This is what renders it. This is the layers that render. Right now it's just all of them. That's fine for this tutorial. And then go back. 0. Now, I'll go through a more advanced version of this at a later time. But this is the simple version. If you wanted to get crazy, you can add and this makes it look 1,000 times better, but it kills the rendering time. So you Shift A, you add a square right there, and just scale that square out, and go into Tools, and if you don't already have Cloud Generator, you would just go into your add-ons and search for Cloud, and you're going to see the Object Cloud Generator right there, and you would enable that, save as default, and then what that is right there, if you hit the T bar and open up your tools, you'll see the Cloud Generator, and I'm going to want a Cirrus Cloud. You can mess around with this particles, it makes it take even longer. So generate cloud. So now you get yourself a cloud right there, which is a really easy way to make a cloud. No matter which way you put it and which way you do it, there's no good way around doing clouds. They eat your rendering time, no matter what. So, and you know what? It looks like we got a little problem going on in here. Oh, it's turned. He's turned to the side. Okay. That's how he's finishing. Can't have that. Make sure I have record on right here. That's over to there. And rotate that there. Let's see what the clouds do with the sparks. Makes it look really cool. A lot of glare there. You know what? Let's take our threshold up for that. I was liking the fog. Okay, and still I'm going to take that up. Okay, cool. It has to do with partly because we have the emitter on the particles set, so I'm going to delete that. Like I said, does it still see it? Let's see. No. Delete that. Alright, everybody. This is a quick little tutorial by Opticus Radicus on how to make a cool little intro sequence. Yeah, a little lighting, a little texturing, and it can look just like that. There you go. And happy blending, everybody.